Leo.
Hello Leo, this is your July forecast and we are heading into summer here and the energies are really good for you here this month. It's going to start off with just feeling that much more social for you, where you're out and about. It's all about friendships, networking, and you'll see how you're going to be communicating a whole lot. There's a lot of chit-chat going on, sharing of information, and so forth. So for those of you that are looking to expand your network, this is the month to do so. And between that and also trying to find time for yourself, that's going to be your balance this month. And that's because the sun and the new moon is in your 12th house, right there along with Jupiter. And we're going to talk about Jupiter because that is changing this month here, and it is opening up a door for a full new 12 months ahead for you. Jupiter is going to be meeting up with Leo into your sign of Leos. And so I know you're going to feel very excited with all this beautiful new energy coming into your life. You've been probably contemplating a lot about your directions and those things that you're wanting to now come out with, the things that you want to birth. And think about this birth as something humongous because it is Jupiter, the bearer of all good news, expansion, joy, happiness, and being in the first house as it crosses the rising sign, the ascendants. Many of you might just find yourself here early on in summer just wanting to travel, just wanting to get out and about. That's what Jupiter loves. It is the ruler of Sagittarius after all. So, but it's really you standing on your own horizon right now, right? The rising sign, looking out over the vastness, the valleys of life, what it is you want to achieve, what you want to expand, and with a feeling of everything is possible. And truth be told, it absolutely is. The sky is the limit. Now throughout this year, having it in your first house is going to empower you. It's going to strengthen you. It's going to bring a lot of joy and laughter to your life. And right now here on the June end of this forecast, if you're listening to the July forecast early on, well, you're just shutting down on the old chapters of a full 12-year cycle, okay? So there might have been a lot of reflections on where you've been, what you've achieved, and so forth over these years. And that is acting as a balance, as a ground, as to where you see yourself, not just now, starting this summer, but where you're seeing yourself in the long run, the next 12 years, where Jupiter is going to carry you straight through the chart, visiting all the chapters of life. Starting off with, this first year is going to be about self. Expansion of self, bringing out all that heartfelt warmth that you have and which you give out now to people, because the first house is always about how other people perceive you. They're going to see you as somebody who's very exuberant, with a lot of personality, a lot of joy and laughter. And then the following year, it's going to be about money and income and expanding that area. Then we're moving to the third house for communication, travel, and fourth house about home, resident, real estate. So that's the next 12 years and onwards. So this is the greatest shift that's going to take place here for you, and that is taking place July 17th. All right, that's when you're done with the 12 years. So let's just move onwards. What else is really exciting for you here this month? We've got Venus up there in the 11th house of friendships and networking and groups and organizations. We got Mars in your third house, which is all about how you communicate, the way you communicate. And of course, Mars has been very slowly moving through this area ever since December. Now, Mars too is going to finalize this area. So we've got two big shifts going on here. Mars is going to leave here now in July 27th, and it won't be back for another 2 years. Then you're going to see the focus being on where you live and how you live, the grounding, the fundament of your home, family, real estate. Some of you might be thinking about buying, selling, or getting on with things, you know, beautifying your home. repainting or restructuring. Mars is, you know, antsy. It's energetic. It wants to do something. So you'll see how that's going to really line up with you, and especially next month, because it is on the 27th, it's going to be moving in there. So we will see here in August, especially because it's going to tie up with Saturn next month too. And so we'll talk more about what Mars and Saturn is going to do in this area. But then we have the new moon, and the new moon is always when it's really tight, right next to the sun, 12th house here for this month. The new moon is all about putting down those good intentions. And the 12th house is about the inner self. It's your spiritual self. It's your inner sanctuary, if you wish. And so that is here to remind you that it is important, in spite of being busy out there in the world, you know, and yes, it is going to be a busy month, that you remind yourself it's important to take time off for you, Leo. And so your intentions this month, and the new moon will be on July 22nd, is to promise yourself that throughout the year, no matter how busy you get, is to always remember to take a little time off to meditate, or go to the spa, or just lay in your bathtub with tons of oils, and, you know, just really do something that is spiritually and physically good for you. And then we have the full moon here, July 12th, and this will be in your 6th house. 6th house rules health and health-related matters, also your day-to-day schedules and co-workers, and so it's going to be a powerful full moon this month here on the 12th, as it is going to be conjunct Pluto. And Pluto is all about, you know, new beginnings, transformation, and so forth. And of course, when this transformation is coming in here with a full body of emotions, well, it could be a little intense there on the 12th. So you might want to put that on your calendar. And it might also be a time to either harvest something, but the new moon is also like not just the conclusion of this full last month, but it's also, once it's passed, it's all about now focusing on starting new. Not like the new moon energy, but it's more like, okay, you have accomplished a goal, now where do I go with it? All right, and that 6th house is looking at health and your routines. Am I getting enough workout? Should I work out more? That kind of thing. Perhaps also looking to what you eat and what you're sensitive for, or sensitive to, should I say. So, great month here. I see here that you will also still be continuing your research of wanting to transform aspects of your life that has to do with higher thinking. It's like there's so many of you Leos right now that's just wanting to crack out of your shell, bring out not necessarily the inner rebel, but Uranus can definitely be a rebel. And what is it rebelling against? Well, the old structures. Uranus is all about renewal, do things differently, new routines, new ways of thinking, new conceptual ideas. So, you know, as the more you pay attention to it, you'll start seeing how your upper chakras may start opening up and you know, filtering down new inspirations, which can really leave you feeling quite charged with energy, by the way. So let's take a look at here, top of the month, July 4th, we have the Sun opposing Pluto. A little bit later, you know, you're going to have that full moon in Pluto conjunct. So both the luminaries this month is going to be touching upon the sense of transformation. One is going to be, like I said, with the full moon, health and daily routines. The new moon is going to be the 12th house. It's more about new beginnings and your inner self, and Pluto wants to really have you look at how you can go in and, shall I say, find new strategies. It's so important for you, Leo, to be on top of your game for yourself. Okay, the 12th house is the inner personal self, the higher spiritual self. So at the new moon, that means it's connected with the sun, and we've got Pluto here opposing it. Okay, so that's triggering a promise of to start new. And then comes the full moon, which is going to be conjuncting it, you know, like 14 days later. So, you know, it's like these two things together is definitely going to be putting your inner and outer self in a new alignment. Very exciting, especially the more conscious you are, the more you can get out of it, right? Then we have an unexpected surprise on the 7th. That is Venus and Uranus. So that's always something that can come out of the blue. And for you, it's coming between the area of friendships and travel, perhaps. The 9th house, long distance travel, and Venus friendship. So you might have a visitor from somebody coming from afar, or maybe you will be visiting. On the 8th, we have a decision to be made, and just a little hiccup. It's only a day transit, but you had that good news on the 7th. Then on the 8th, well, maybe something needs to be adjusted. Doesn't have to be more than, for example, perhaps even your schedule. On the 9th, it looks like whatever that is, the rearrangement you're doing on the 8th, the 9th will help you really to ground it. Okay, then you have your resolve or your answer. The Sun and Saturn is going to lock it in for you. So it's a good day to make decisions, to find mutual agreements with those that you're speaking with or interacting with. Now, the 13th, beautiful day for romance, Leo. That is Venus and Mars. They are trine, so the chemistry is going really strong. Communication is really good. It's a time of the month to really go out and meet a new friend, you know, or a new date. If you're single, if you are attached, well, great time for the two of you also to interact there. On the 19th, yes, we have a discussion or a communication. And for those of you in a relationship, this would be the time actually to share your innermost private, spiritual, heartfelt thoughts and feelings to your partner, because it's going to be received just as beautifully as it is being shared. And it's a great time for you to listen to your partner as well, to know what, you know, he or she desires. Neptune is here allowing you guys to flow and talk about those areas that might be a little sensitive other times, right? But right now there's an opening. And especially if there has been a situation that has represented a conflict in the past or a sensitivity in the past, you know, the Sun, Mars here is square, so that might be what's bringing it up to the surface and alerting both of you to this would be the time to talk. But know in your heart that that talk will go well, because Mercury, the ruler of communication, is gentle. It is sensitive here with Neptune. That's good. Now on the 22nd, you know, you might come back around to whatever it is you talk about there on the 19th. On the 22nd, you might have some questions that have come up in the aftermath or been lingering there, and you might bring this up again, you know, maybe to take it to the next level or to deepen it somewhat, could be. So Mercury and Pluto is there at odds or in opposition. That doesn't have to mean at odds. What it means is Pluto wants to transform. It wants to bring the end to something that has been, you know, up and around, and now wanting to find its point of transformation. And that transformation, you know, it's okay to bring it up there, you know, question it so you can go deeper. You know, Pluto always goes very deep. But don't expect the response or the answer right away. Because of its depth, it might need a couple of days just to kind of like chew on it a little bit, but expect it 2 days later. On the 24th, we have Venus and Neptune. Okay, Venus is love, and Neptune is that higher octave of love. Put those two together, just like Mercury was very caring and loving, giving out, you know, that speech on the 19th. Venus is going to respond in just the same caring, loving way that will allow the two of you to see eye to eye, make whatever adjustments, agreements, and then 4 days later, on the 28th, we have Venus and then now Pluto opposing each other. So here we go. We see the theme, right? First it's communication and presentation, then allowing it to sit, then come out, talk again, to bring a finality to it. And the final finality of whatever started there on the 19th will be concluded on the 28th. So we see not all discussions have a beginning and an end in one sitting. You know, this one here is probably pretty much going there over like 10 days. So give it a little time. Know that this is something that you want, Leo. It's something that you've been desiring. It's something you've been thinking about for a long time. This is something that has been in the mix, so it's not new, but here we go. Now we can work with it. And we're so much out of these difficult aspects that's been going on, you know, ever since, you know, the last 6 months, longer. So we're really looking at the best part of the year coming up, and also money for you is looking good. Venus is in this good place, so Venus, not just rules, you know, romance, but also those things that we desire, that we need, so our physical needs, and it is also money, so this should be good. So before I end, just want to bring out the major transitions this month. Mercury is now direct from July 1st. It was retrograde straight through June, so you're back on board on the 1st. Then we have Venus, which is going to move into Cancer, which is your 12th house, on July 19th. So you're until the 19th, you're going to be out and about, busy, very communicative, and you know, sharing time with friends. And thereafter, you're going to step back, rest up a little bit. Then we have the 17th, Jupiter moving into your sign, yay! And you will feel that shift because it is going to just empower your whole inner self. And then we have Mars finally moving out of Libra into the sign of Scorpio, your 4th house there on the 27th. So those are those major dates that we need to look at. So listen, Leo, I wish you the best. I hope you have a wonderful month of July. Do go listen to your moon and your rising sign, and I'll see you next month. Bye now.